Hi, everyone. This is Capricorn New Moon Meditation. Welcome to everyone, and uh, welcome to those who are also catching the replay. Um, I'm actually very excited about this particular meditation today, it will be a continuation from the full moon meditation that we journeyed together through. And uh, Joya, your question about what does it mean to what is the climbing up the mountain, what is the coming down from the mountain and mountaintop and all that. What came to me after the meditation that we did together um, is the sentence that Capricorn is a conqueror of death. And reaching the mountaintop is even at the same time, it is also the high peak of our material and spiritual aspirations and the um, so materialism and spiritualism um, in abundance, and this is the stretching and reaching the edge of our capacity to hold both the materialism and the spiritualism, and at the same time it is a point where we need to die to both of them. So it's a conqueror of death, so that new life can be born. And my experience is that, again, materialism and spiritualism are two poles of opposites that we need to fuse together. And so, and then the reason why is that will open us to radical awakening, so that we are not identified to either of them, but to the one life at the center of both of them. And that's what we're focusing on today in our meditation journey together. My experience is that what Bruce Lyon gave in the Mercury transmissions teachings from Master Dwal was that the root of true abundance uh, is both in the mineral kingdom, in the soil, and also in the soul. And the material or manifested abundance happens when these two meet through the will of God. That's what I take away from that teaching. It's obviously it's not with those words, and Capricorn as an archetype is ruling the mineral kingdom, and as it is the high peak of materialism, spiritualism. Instead of pursuing either of them or neither of them, let's see what we find or discover in between. And again, there's no right or wrong, but rather what is there, what is your experience, what is alive. And my interest is in when we come down from the mountaintop to serve, because as the realization, the radical awakening takes place, there is no I at the center who is pursuing something or doing something, but there is just service, there is just being, and through that vibration, through that frequency, we already serve by being who we are. Obviously, that can be translated into some action. However, the action is intelligent action. It's what life calls us to. So it's not to pursue something, but action that puts us in our place. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to share about the esoteric theory for this meditation that is relevant to today. Right now, there's not anything that I want to add, but I trust that if there's something that wants to be shared, it will come through the meditation, the guidance that we will live through. And we can already begin our journey together. Are there any questions at this point, or is there anybody wanting to share something from your own Capricornian journey so far?
I just had a beautiful picture of when you spoke about materialism and spiritualism at its peak. I saw the the mountain and the reversed mountain really meeting each other in the middle, and it just like it kind of just cut me, like, oh yeah. So that middle point. So that's beautiful to kind of take with me in the meditation.
Amazing. Yay!
Yay! Something is happening.
Great. Is there anybody else wanting to say something? Not at this point. Feel free to share in the chat also if you don't feel like unmuting and speaking. That's also totally welcome. I can feel my heart pounding. Let's dive in. So I invite you to find, again, listen to the impulse coming from your body. So whatever your body wants to do right now, whether that be to walk around the room that you're in, the space that you're in, or if you want to settle down, if you want to stand up, if you want to sit down, if you want to lay down, as long as you stay alert and yet feel safe enough and comfortable enough to land in your body, to be comfortable in your body, that you are not feeling any physical pain. So make yourself comfortable in that sense. And also remember and know that you can always listen to the impulses coming from your body. So that means that you can always change your posture, change the place that you're in to explore what the body wants to do. And then let that be a path to more revelations or insights. If you want to just soothe your nervous system a bit more, you can also have a slow browse or slow view of the room, letting the room come to you, just orienting yourself to the space that you're in, noticing the different objects in the room. Noticing your breathing. Again, there's no need to change the breathing, but rather letting it be, letting it do its thing. And then letting your breathing and your physical body to work together to potentially release any tensions if there are any. So if you feel like you want to shake or sound or stretch or scream or beat a pillow or just hump a pillow or whatever, then do that and just let the energy flow so that it's not stagnant and just nagging you throughout the journey, but rather letting it release right now. Again, we are deepening our connection to the minerals in our body today and in the earth. And uh, matter moves and speaks very slowly. So we are slowing down. So it's very natural also if the movement needs to slow down at some point. So that's totally okay. You can also see if the chatter in your mind eases a bit by closing your eyes and moving your head a bit so that your eyes are not so sharply focused at anything, but rather eyes can relax and they can let go of the control and yourself drop into your body more. And connect to the rest of the body. Again, and the point is not to get rid of the thoughts or the mind, but just give more space to other parts of your being as well and bring them into balance and into connection to each other. And you can start to sense your physical body. If it supports you, you can also touch yourself, feel the skin of your body, feel and connect to the minerals in your skin through your touch and see what kind of touch those minerals want and where in the body they want. And if it's a very cold weather for you right now, then it's totally fine if you are touching the skin through a piece of clothing or a blanket even. Just bringing the sense of presence and sort of a sense of pressure through touch, knowing that there's two surfaces touching each other. And see what kind of a rhythm that touch wants to take right now in your experience. What kind of a pace with that particular part of the body. And does that rhythm or pace change if you move around? You don't need to change this spot or place in your body, but if your intuition or impulse guides you to do that, then just notice that if there are any differences. what is the tempo that supports you in sensing, not necessarily through your eyes only, but through the sensing, the tactile sense, even the smell or taste, the minerals in your body, in your skin. And when you explore this, how does the minerals in your body react or respond? Through that touch, is a dialogue opened up or born out of that communion? Or is there silence? Or something else? And if there is a dialogue, if there is a communication and messages coming through, then what are they about? And if there is a silence or even a sort of a gap, then just stay with that experience. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to imagine anything. You don't have to get to anything. Just notice what is there at this point of time and know that it can change. It may change in the future. And then you can just start deepening the connection to all the other minerals in your body, in the deeper tissues, in the deeper layers of your body, the muscles, the fascia, the bones, the different liquids in your body, the minerals in them. And see if your breathing is still supporting your journey to deepen this connection. If your breathing is shallow or even almost stopped, and see if you can encourage that soft caress of your breathing from within for your body so that your breathing can caress these different minerals. And what if there is a resistance, if there's some resistance to let the breathing in, just stay with that tension. See what's it about, feel it, accept it. And see then if the breathing and the minerals inside your skin start to communicate with each other one way or another. If they create any impulses, if they create any visions, rising thoughts, stories, feelings, maybe. Acknowledge them. Discern and acknowledge them and see them for what they are. Emotions, thoughts. What is the deepest longing of these minerals in your body? What do they long for the most? Let that message come through in one word or sentence. If it's coming through. If it's not, then just stay with the physical sensations. Stay with other senses than verbal information. Because the body speaks, the minerals speak also through other senses. Let yourself feel that longing. You can even, if you have that word or sentence, you can speak it out loud for yourself and let yourself feel, respond with your body, with your emotions, with your thoughts, any impulses coming through, if there are any. And see if this longing has already lived out itself in your life so far. Are there any actions, any patterns that you have created for yourself to unconsciously pursue this, to fulfill this longing, or if it has been too scary to reach that if there are any limiting or restricting beliefs that have prevented you from pursuing that you have actually, because of them, you have actually gone the opposite direction, that you have escaped or you have avoided to meet this longing. Name those out loud for yourself if you receive any of those into your experience right now. And what do you get from fulfilling this longing? What do you get from meeting this longing? And maybe this longing is even a need. What do you get for yourself? Why do you long for this? What would happen? What would happen if you had this longing met? And if you had that longing met or fulfilled, would you be satisfied? Yes or no? regardless of your answer, then have a look. Then have a look behind that longing. What is there? What is it? What is that longing hiding? What's on the other side? Name it for yourself. Acknowledge it. Claim it. Then I invite you to see, what do the minerals call out in your soul? What part of your soul are they calling out to? Again, you can allow yourself to sense, bring back the awareness of the sensing of your body, of the heaviness of the minerals. Yet, side by side with the heaviness, there is space between the minerals, between the atoms of your body. And from that, activation, what is the calling of your minerals? You can even see if there is any dynamic impulse coming from your body, wanting to release any energy upwards. To demand the soul to land, to fuse, to marry the minerals. What does it evoke in you or invoke? Again, let yourself see if there is a dialogue open between the minerals and the part of your soul, or if there is silence, or if there is awareness of both of them, but there is not really knowing how to connect those two, or something else. Again, validate for yourself the state that you're at, not needing to be something else or get to somewhere else than where you are at, actually. And as you start to be in more contact with that, whatever the minerals are invoking you or invoking in you, in your soul, let yourself be more identified with that soul part now. If that supports you, you can also just shift your physical place in the space that you're in to cue this change of perspective. But you can also stay in one place if that is supporting you better. And from this change of perspective, of this perspective of soul, as you are sensing the minerals in this body that you are inhabiting, and as you are opening up to the communication with them, in this particular relationship, what is the deepest longing of your soul? What do you long for the most? Name it for yourself out loud, either one word or one phrase. And let yourself feel that longing. What does it feel like in your body? What kind of sounds, movement does this longing make, create? And what would happen if this longing was met, fulfilled? Do you see any patterns, any actions that you have done or taken or created for yourself so far in your life that has actually pursued to fulfill this soul longing, this aspiration? Just observing, witnessing, without any shame or blame or judgment about or valuation of what's happened in the past, but rather just observing. Okay, this is what's been running my life. This is what I've created for myself in the past. And as you start seeing these patterns, these actions, come back to the question, what would happen? Why do you long for the thing that your soul longs for? Would you be satisfied if you had this soul longing met? Yes or no? Now then, I invite you to see how your soul and the minerals in your body respond to each other. Are they in direct contact with each other? Or does there need to be any reaching out to each other? Whatever the situation is at the moment, I invite you to bring both the longing of your minerals and the longing of your soul together in your heart. So bring your awareness into your heart space. Let it draw those two longings into your heart. And let them mix together. And as they mix together, what opens up? What becomes available? What is born of this union? Letting that break your heart even more open. And open the door at the back of your heart. And if the door does not open, then just stay there patiently, staying present. And from this opening, invite in the two polar opposites of the minerals and your soul that were behind those longings. The other side, what was on the other side of the longing of the minerals and what was on this other side of the longing of the soul. Bring those two together, let them be drawn into your heart through this door and by this door and this opening in your heart, mixing them together. And what becomes of that? What becomes available then? What is born of this union? What is the quality of service that is alive in you? That becomes available through you naming it, feeling it, expressing it, letting the imprint sink in so that you can remember from now on. See if you can give yourself permission to live this service from now on. And if it is not possible, then what is the work that you still have? What is the karma that you still have to clear? Regardless of whether you are now fully free to serve as an Aquarian initiate, or if you still have karma to burn. It doesn't really matter what the stage you are at. You can trust that you will attract, you will create the circumstances to support your soul on the next steps forward. If you already receive guidance on how this service through being would translate into intelligent action, if there is life moving through you already now, it's totally okay, and receive that guidance. And also notice what it brings up in you. But it also may be that intelligent action, that divine movement, divine action comes into play later. Will you be open to that? And then from this true humility, this state of true humility, radical awakening. Connect to the minerals in the earth, in this planet. Sense through the minerals in your body and the soul inhabiting this body the response in this planet to your service. Where where in the world are the minerals in the planet activating or responding to the frequency or vibration that your service is transmitting? And it's okay if you don't know the actual name of those locations. You can just sense maybe the country, maybe the roundabout location on the planet where that would be. And you can send that energy, that service of yours to these minerals in the planet. How does the planet respond? Are you supported? Are you received? Will you be received? Will you allow yourself to be received? And if you are received, if you are supported and you allow yourself to be received, sense if you can start to witness how the matter in its own pace starts to form whatever you need in order to that service to be fulfilled, that law fulfilled, the will of God be fulfilled. The soul calls via the rising sign. The law must be fulfilled. Die. The law must be fulfilled. Die. And the pledged disciple responds, lost am I in light supernal, yet on that light I turn my back. slowly we come to completion with the guided part of this journey. And so if there is anything that helps you to ground this experience, you can support your body with either touching your feet, breathing more deeply into your pelvis, slowly, deeply breathing into your pelvis, and gathering your own energy, even if with the support of your hands, to your central line, to the central column. And you can also consciously invite the energy to flow down to the core of the earth, through the base of your spine and through the crown of your head to up to the cosmos. And in that vertical alignment to flow freely and actively. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and yet again reorient to the space that you're in, noticing, letting your eyes be soft and relaxed, and just letting the space to come to you, just one by one, slowly noticing the different objects in the space that you're in. Feeling the weight of your physical body on the surface that you're on. Coming back slowly. You know, when you're ready, then I invite you to come back to our shared space on the screen. I thank you so much for joining me today. And I invite you to, if you have your new moon offering with you, to seed that new moon offering into the land, into the earth, with the seed of your service, and letting it gestate even further in the soil of the earth, letting it carry it for you and with you from now on. And we have had time for sharings, or if you want to be witnessed in something, if you want to, especially now that Capricorn also rules the throat chakra, that if you want to create your own reality through speaking, then now is your chance.
Thank you very much, Raisa, and everyone. The most what's the word? Most tangible. What came up today. And I still feel how it's touching me very deeply. It's that when we started, and there was this touching. It moves me deeply, and also some shame is coming up, but I just so noticed how much I long it. Sort of safe and kind of deep touch that doesn't have any kind of particular purpose or need, or kind of I'm finding it hard to put it into words, but really had somehow really from, you know, kind of throughout my whole life, it has certainly something to do with longing of security and to be safe in a touch. And I feel that that's for now the most important thing that came up in this meditation, for me to see how I can incorporate that kind of thing more into my life through myself. And of course, my deepest wish is to have a partner with whom I could share it with in a non-sexual way, or another person. But just want to start with myself, kind of a softer, but also this kind of really, like when you said that, going into the bone, going into like the fascia and the minerals. Didn't get grip of any minerals, but just kind of the feeling, how deep it went and what kind of emotion it brought up. So I feel it was very valuable. So thanks very much.
Thank you for
I
sharing.
didn't come up with a huge whatever serving, but I know that it will come when it's time.
Thank you for
I
sharing.
can't believe it. I shared that all. But anyway, I said it. It feels very personal, very vulnerable.
I appreciate you for sharing all that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And thank you for you to facilitating this, and bringing your energy and great wisdom, and being a great channel for. There's no words to describe it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to share too. Yeah, this was super powerful for me, and I was very surprised in a way, because last time it didn't land really with the minerals. And now it was right away. I was deeply in it, and yeah, there were a lot of things connecting from past experiences, and just it made so much sense to me right now. So I really hope you do another round around the sun with these meditations, because I value it so much. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I just, yeah, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's incredible. And yeah, just one of the things with the touching, I somehow was drawn right away into my bones. And one thing that touched me was the building up of bones when a body forms, like a baby body forms. It takes a long time to have kind of mature bones. But what touched me was, long after the soul maybe has been incarnated again in a new, human, the bones are there. in the earth, and it felt so alive to me. Like, oh my God, this whole bone structure is there for years and years and years, giving just microdoses of its minerals to this beautiful earth. And it was so touching to me. Like, oh my God, it's just so alive. And I'm just deeply one with the mineral life of earth. And yeah, that was really beautiful. And it connected to I had a solstice ritual, and I was brought down flat on my um on my um on my front and with my arms wide open, and I only heard, "You are the soil, you are the soil, you are the soil." And I didn't really get it, but today I really get that. Like, oh my God. So yeah, so it's just a deepening of a real experience of spirit and matter, in the bones. So thank you for that. That's really amazing.
Yay!
Yay! Another celebration.
Yeah, I celebrate with you. Yeah, so beautiful. Wow.
May I say something to that?
Sure, yeah, are you okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Not just, I just wanted to thank, I'm not saying the name, her for what she was sharing, because that really resonated. And yeah, I have to digest, I want to digest that, but there's something, it has a connection to also something what I shared, but I can't figure it out yet. But it really, when she was starting to talk about it, it was like, yeah, wow, that's it. So amazing. Thank you. And totally different connection to these minerals. It's kind of obvious, but it's kind of too obvious for, at least for me, to think about it in general, of how much we are connected with the minerals and the earth through the bone structure and everything. So thanks a lot. Beautiful.
Is there anybody else wanting to say something? Going once. Going twice. And it's finished. Thank you.
It's like an auction.
It is.
But maybe one more thing, it is really the touch that we are in contact with, this density of our body.
Yeah.
How important that is. So more touch into the everyday life. And isn't it that physiologically our bones get strengthened when they get touched, or a little bit also this kind of hits, like jumping and these kind of things. So it has a very practical base to it too. So
yeah, it is. It is very tangible.
And through the pressure, it forms through the pressure. The minerals get more dense, isn't it, like that? So wonderful nature.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me today. I will let you know about the next meditation. I want to apologize for always changing the time when I say that save the date and I'm always changing it. This year I'm practicing more consistency and planning ahead so that I will stick with my schedule so that there are less surprises. Let's see how well I will be able to live through it and live by it. So thank you for your patience and understanding and still joining me in these meditations despite the different and last minute changes. I really appreciate that. And more blessings, everyone.